Hey folks, how's everyone doing this great Thursday morning? So glad to be here with you once again. As you can, if you've been watching the channel, you've seen a lot of the changes that I've made. You can probably, wrong hand, you can probably see the new logo that I've got for Earl Hall Studio. You've probably seen the new intros, the green screen, all that type of stuff to kind of help with making sure that what I'm doing is not only valuable, or should I say, has value to you, but also kind of holds your interest. So I'm having a lot of fun with the green screen and things of that nature. So I just want to say thanks to everyone. I started doing 5 days a week on April 3rd. April 3rd of this year is when I really started going hard in on this YouTube channel and really trying to evaluate what it is that I'm bringing to you guys as far as being able to give you value as far as information goes to building your voiceover business and your marketing and learning how to use your equipment and things of that nature. And really what's been really good for me are the questions that roll in. The email questions come in every day, so I'm never short on content to deliver to you guys. And I want to make sure, if you don't know, you'll see scrolling at the bottom some of the things that, as far as how you can stay in touch with me through social media. And I think coming up now, you've got how to send in your email questions, which is simply just to send them to earlhallvo@gmail.com and make sure that you put in the subject line VO question. I want to talk today about basically your steps. And I think a lot of people are getting bogged down in the minutia of every little thing, which is important, but on a macro level, it's not. And a lot of times, instead of looking so micro, you've got to look macro and say, okay, what is my overall goal here? And then kind of reverse engineer that to kind of take some of Gary Vee's words. If you don't follow Gary Vee on YouTube, you need to check him out. Most definitely. I've been following Gary Vee for over a year now, and he has made a really significant change in basically how I approach the things that I do, and taking no nonsense, having no nonsense in how it is that I'm building my career, building my business, and things of that nature. And now also how I deliver information to you. You've heard me say one of the best things that I can do, that I feel that kind of separates me from a lot of different VO coaches in general, consultants in general out there, is that as far as what's going on here on YouTube and across my different platforms that I'm on, is that I'm not out here every day trying to sell you a $500 course on how to become successful in voiceover. I just simply want to give you the information and let you take that information and run. Particularly if you watched the video on yesterday and Tuesday, I think it was, I kind of broke down some of those things and some things for you to take a look at when you're looking at some folks that you may want to not only subscribe to, but maybe even purchase from. One of the things that I'm going to go through today when in regards to talking about the steps that you might want to take in regards to this whole voiceover thing is there are definitely some people that you want to follow. And so what I'm doing here is I'm going over to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to see about sharing my screen with you if I can, and show you some of the folks that have heavily influenced me in regards to voiceover, and some of the things that have really helped me out in regards to pushing this thing along. One of them, let me just see if I can pull him up here. I don't just want to show you arbitrary stuff on my screen. So let me, is this it? I think so. And let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen. And if that comes up, there's a couple of folks that I really want you to be aware of, if you're not aware of them, in regards to how you can do better at what it is that you're doing to grow your business. And okay, now I'm doing multiple things here. Let's see. I know I have a thing here where I can share my screen. So, oh, here it is, window capture. Let's turn that on. Okay, here's one of them. Mike Delgadio he's called the Booth Junkie. And I believe he's one of the best folks that is out there in regards to showing you how to use your microphone, how to use multiple different DAWs that are out there. He's one of the guys that I follow. You can see off to the left side of the screen there a bunch of the different subscriptions that I have. And I'll just scroll. Let me see if I can go through some of them. I don't think I can. A lot of these deal with basically YouTube and how to grow a YouTube channel and things of that nature. But Mike Delgadio, the Booth Junkie, is probably the number one person, one of the number one people. There's a couple. And then, so make sure that you note that. I would go and follow Booth Junkie. I believe it definitely carries some value for you to go and make sure that you follow him. All right, now let me see if I can find another one. And I can't quite remember his name. Let's see how to. What does he really do? Make a. It's called radio imaging. Radio imaging. And let's see if he'll come up immediately here with that. There he is, Mike Russell. Mike Russell is a guy, and let me go back to sharing my screen here. Music Radio Creative. Mike Russell is another guy that you want to follow. If you want to get in depth on learning how to make some more interesting sounds, if you're doing something like radio imaging, you want to add some effects, you want to make some significant changes to your voice and how it sounds with echoes and stutters and things of that nature, and even just getting down to some of the basics on learning how to use your DAW, your digital audio workstation. This guy has been very, very influential in what it is that I've been able to learn over the past, over 2 years now. So he's someone that you want to make sure that you subscribe to as well. I'm trying to give you these sources so that you can get a better understanding of how I got to where I am and maybe how you can take some of those same steps to get to where you are. Now, another one, the first guy that I mentioned, Gary Vaynerchuk, is a very no-nonsense type of guy. He is going to give you the straight skinny on whether what you're saying you want to do is actually adding up to what it is that you're doing. He's going to give you a sense of if you're working hard enough, and if you say you are, you probably aren't. He's going to give you a sense of not caring about what other people think while you're on your journey to where you're going, and making sure that if you say that you want to do something, that your actions are lining up with that thing that you say it is that you want to do. So Gary Vaynerchuk is a very good guy to watch. And so I would make sure that you definitely get a hold to those 3 different folks that I've shown you here on YouTube, that I believe is going to significantly change what it is that you're doing. You know, I get obviously questions every single day in regards to not only building a voiceover business, but also using your software, using your equipment, how to do this, how to do that, different things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you tune in every day. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do subscribe so that when I go live like this, you'll get instant notification. And when I upload videos, you'll get instant notification as well. A lot of you have heard me talking about Video to Order, a new freelance site that is going to be launching. It was supposed to launch on Monday. They pushed that back to today, and then I just instant messaged the owner, and so it looks like they're pushing it back once again tomorrow. We're heavily loaded. He says we're heavily loaded with VO folks on the waiting list at the moment, smiley face. So you want to make sure that you go over to videotoorder.com. And I'm going to quickly pull up that website as well so that you can take a look at that. And I will share this on my screen so that you can take a look. Now, when you go to video to order, there's going to be this sign up thing here. So you can definitely go ahead and read that, send the email that you want to go ahead and get early access. So they're saying that they're going to open this up tomorrow, which is Friday. So I may be doing a live stream over this weekend to bring you up to speed on that, be showing you some of the ins and outs of video to order and how it all works. I can give you a little behind the scenes right now since I do have access to it to kind of show you what's going on behind the scenes with this. So with video to order, and they are working on the site right now. So it's basically if you're in video production, video editing, marketing services, and of course our field, which is audio services. And this is going to be voiceover stuff. And this website is completely focused on video services, the marketplace for video services, which everyone knows that if you're in voiceover, you're going to be doing voiceover for people that do whiteboard videos, explainer videos, documentaries, all of that. Anyone that's in video production, 9 times out of 10, maybe 10 times out of 10, they're going to need voiceover services. So I want to make sure that you go to that website if you have not already, and make sure that you sign up at videotoorder.com and get ready for this launch, because I believe it's going to be something very significant on your journey to building your voiceover career and making sure that you're leveraging this platform appropriately. I'm the brand ambassador for voiceover. I'm not an owner of the site, but I work closely with the owner and of the site to let him know what we need in regards to voiceover services, what's going to work best for us to provide those services and things of that nature. But it's an open marketplace for freelancers, and being first in, and you may have heard me say this before, being a first in and an early adopter is really going to be something that I think is going to be cool. I think it's going to be something that is going to give you a leg up as opposed to any of the other freelance sites that are out there right now, because you weren't first in. And when you're first into something like this, those are the folks that really make an impact. Those are the folks that start making the most money and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you get in and get in early. I've been able to go behind the scenes for about a month or two now and see how things work and setting up profiles and all of that. So I'll be bringing this to you guys as well. Steps to voiceover success. What I was saying earlier about some people getting bogged down in the minutia or the micro details of voiceover is one of those interesting things to me, because when people say, how do I get started in voiceover? How do I do voiceover? There's this idea I think that people have in their head about what voiceover is and how you make money at voiceover and what it is that you're going to be doing as a voiceover artist. And that's predicated on what you've seen before. I mean, all of us watch television, we see movies, we listen to the radio, and so we hear voiceover all the time. And so when you're tuned into that and you're cognizant of the fact that these things are going on, you say, hey, that might be something that I can do, especially if you've got somebody telling you all the time, hey, you've got a nice voice, you should do commercials or radio or something like that. And so you think it's something that you might want to jump into. And what we all, self included, have found out is that when you do jump into voiceover, it's way harder than what you thought it was. When I go back to 2006, 2007, and I signed up with, I think the first place I signed up with was Voices123, I think, or Voices.com. I can't remember. It was one of them. They've been around about the same length of time, at least in my world. And I thought, oh yeah, I'm just going to sign up on this website. I'm going to start getting tons of work because it's all right here. Well, besides the fact that I didn't know how to use my DAW properly, I didn't have a proper recording environment, I didn't know how to use my microphone appropriately. All these things, I didn't know how to create a demo. One of the things that I see all the time is that when someone is asking me a question and I'll say, well, send me over your demo, they send me over a long commercial, like a 1-minute commercial or something. That's not a demo. That's a commercial. If you don't know what a demo is about 4 to 6 snippets of something that you do in audio. Basically, it could be several commercials. It could be a commercial, promo spot, a TV commercial, explainer video type thing, a documentary type thing, and you put them all together in no more than 1 minute. And so it's a 1 minute audio file, no more than, and it allows people to see your range of what it is that you can do in VoiceOver. If you want to know what a demo should sound like, especially at the level that you're at, you can go to my website, earlhallstudio.com, and check out my demos that are there, along with some of the other voiceover artists that work with me on that site as well at earlhallstudio.com. So knowing what all of these things are, and then coming into the understanding that this is not as easy as we thought it was. Becoming a voiceover artist is not something that happens overnight. It's not something that's easy. It's not something that's just going to happen. It's something that you're going to have to engineer. You're going to have to engineer this. One of the questions that I got, and I did this video on yesterday, in regards to starting your voiceover business and the things that you need to do as far as the steps go. And I explained in that video, there are so many steps. And it comes down to really the individual and what it is that your goals are and what it is that you're trying to do. By the way, if you're in the chat room, you can go ahead, you can put in a question. I'd love to know who you are and where you're from, all that type of stuff. So you can do that in chat. But now, when someone asks me about a roadmap or steps, the longer that I am in this thing called voiceover, the more that I understand that it's not just one road. It's not just one set of rules. It's not just one path that you're going to take in order to accomplish your goals, because these are your personal and individual goals. There are some things that are the same no matter what. You're going to have to understand your DAW. You're going to have to understand your microphone. You're going to have to understand marketing. Those are the key things. What your website looks like, what you say on your website, how it's presented. Is it mobile friendly? Do you have the ability to capture email addresses and accept requests directly from your website? Do you have an appropriate, if you're using YouTube, do you have an appropriate YouTube channel to help your marketing? Is your Facebook on point? Is your Twitter? Is your Instagram? What is it that you're using to have that funnel of potential clients come into where you are? Is your email marketing strategy set up? Do you have an email client as far as something like a MailChimp.com? Do you have the ability to know all of these different things? Because being in voiceover is so much more than just using Adobe Audition and having a, Neumann TLM 103 microphone or whatever is the best microphone you think you can use. It's so much more than that. And when people ask me about a path for this thing and the steps that they need to take, it's so involved in regards to what you need to master and what you need to know, or pay someone else to do. You can have the best, you can know Adobe Audition, Audacity, whatever your DAW is. You can know these things inside and out. But if you don't know the rest of it, because you're a one-woman shop. That's what most of us are. From time to time, I get help or I hire help doing some of the things that I need to do. But for the most part, it's on you. What's going to happen? And if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a strategy, you're doing probably what you're doing right now, which is kind of tail in the wind, winging it every single day, because you don't have a strategy on what you're going to do. It's, again, beyond your DAW. It's beyond your microphone. Your marketing and your presentation is way more important when it comes down to getting potential clients. I'll just take it as a given that you are a good voiceover artist, that you understand what it is that you need to do, you know how you need to perform, and you got it down, and you understand your DAW. You've got that down. So if I make that a given, then the rest of what it is that you need to do is the most encompassing thing about being a voiceover artist, because you have to be an expert marketer in this thing. There's no two ways around it. You've got to be an expert marketer. And if you're not, what you're doing in voiceover is not going to matter. So if I take the given that you understand your DAW, that you understand how to do voiceover, you've got a decent demo. Let me say this before I go on. In a couple of months, I'm going to be accepting new voiceover artists to be a part of Earl Hall Studio. Right now, I think there's 3 voiceover artists that I have under contract with me, operating through Earl Hall Studio because we're a voiceover talent agency. And I just started doing that this year, basically as a build upon what I've already been doing, which is running my own voiceover business and being that solopreneur that most of us are. But I found that many of my clients were requesting other things of me because of the decent job that I do for them. So I started looking at other voiceover artists to become a part of this and be able to offer their services as well. And I operate Earl Hall Studio a lot differently than any other talent agency is going to operate. I just do. I don't take as much money from my talent. I make sure that my talent is in direct contact with the client, which most folks don't want to do. But I know from the side of being a voiceover artist and dealing with having an agent and dealing with the different pay-to-play sites, dealing with the different freelance sites that are out there, I know our struggles. And Earl Hall Studio is eliminating those struggles for the voiceover artists that come. Doesn't mean that my voiceover artists still don't have to understand marketing, because I'm just one segment of what should be their revenue stream. I'm not their only. I don't give them work every week. Maybe once a month, once every other month, they get work because that's what comes in for me. But I teach them to make sure, and if they're looking, they know they need to do their own marketing and things of that nature. But in the next couple of months, I'm going to be accepting some new talent, maybe maximum of 5, probably 3 male, 2 female, to be a part of the Earl Hall Studio family. And so I have people from time to time asking if I'm accepting auditions, and they always send me the standard demo. But because of how I operate, and if you have listened to me before talking about being able to produce your own demo, you're going to understand why I say what I say about when people send me demos. So they'll send me a demo, asking if I'm accepting talent. But what I've started doing just yesterday, because I got a request, I think on Monday, and I got to the email on yesterday, someone sent me a demo. I halfway listened to it because I'm on a different thing now in regards to demos. Eventually, I'll want a demo, like the traditional demo with the background music and things of that nature. But what I'm more interested in is what your voice sounds with no backup music, with no background music at all. I need to hear the audio that you can produce. I need to hear the dry voice, is what we call it. Just the dry voice of you reading. It could be the same thing that's in your demo. It could be the exact same thing. I don't care. I just need to hear what you sound like without all the fluff, because that's where the rubber meets the road. And that's how I can determine by listening if you have a decent mic, if you have more than the mic, it's the recording space. And you've heard me talk about this more and more and more and more. You can have a less quality mic and a better recording space and blow away someone that has a $1,500 mic and a piss poor recording space. You're going to blow them away. So I need to hear that when I'm looking at talent to bring on to Earl Hall Studio. So anyone that's going to start sending submissions to me, the submission that I want is dry voice. That's what I want. So now, when we're talking about all of those types of things, understanding what is your daily procedure going to be? What are you going to be doing from day to day that is going to make a difference and a real impact on how you build your voiceover career, or how it's built, or if it's built at all, or if it grows at all, is really going to determine a lot on the factors of what you're doing in your presentation and in your marketing. And there's so much that I can go into with that to do a live stream or to do a video on everything that you need to do is completely impossible. The reason why it's completely impossible is because no 2 voiceover artists are the same. No 2 voiceover artists have the same goals. Believe me, you do not have the same goals. You do not have the same talent. You do not have the same interest or the same strengths in this thing we call voiceover. So what I do instead is I do a 15-minute free consultation to get a picture of where you are and where you want to be, and to kind of try and start giving you a roadmap of where it is that you can go to reach those goals and how it is that you can start doing that. And on the website, stepstovoiceoversuccess.com, you can take a look there, and where I have the one-on-one consulting, there's a link right there that just says one-on-one voiceover consulting. Click on that, click the link, set your appointment, and let's get this thing started. Because, and there's a link in the description if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there's a link in the description where you can go ahead and book 15 minutes with me. I think I have days open Saturday, Tuesday, and Wednesday or something. It's something crazy, but I couldn't have it open schedule every day because I've got work to do. I've got 5 projects to do today after I finish this live stream. So at any rate, I always promise to do live stream every Thursday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, to answer the questions that you have. It doesn't seem like anyone has any questions today, and that's okay. But if you haven't subscribed to this channel, there are a ton of videos that I have that present, a lot of different things that you can do in regards to your marketing and using your DAW. So if this video has been helpful for you, I hope you give this a thumbs up. I know I've just been kind of rambling on, but that's kind of what a live stream turns into be. Sometimes it's just me rambling without any questions, that is. The questions help. So we didn't get any questions today, but that's okay. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and you can do that probably right below this video or something. And in the description of this video, there are a ton of links that are going to help you with some of the things that you may want to know about. And if you do have questions, make sure that you do email me at earlhallvo@gmail.com. And in the subject line, make sure that you put VO question. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. And again, I'll probably be doing a live stream on Saturday if this whole thing kicks off with videotoorder.com, which I'm hoping that it will, and we can get this thing going. So you guys have a great Thursday, and you'll have a video tomorrow, Friday morning for me, or afternoon. And I'll see you then. You take care.